Welcome to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm Daya Naef, your host and founder of The Success Partner. On this show, we dive into the stories of attorneys, business professionals, and entrepreneurs who have navigated the ups and downs of building successful careers and businesses. From the strategies they've implemented to the challenges they've overcome, we're here to uncover the insights that can help you on your own journey to success. So sit back, relax, and let's get started.
Which is a coaching platform, workshops, and a full community. Over the past couple of years, I've been really focused on building the community, but I recently stepped away from my role as CEO of a marketing agency to really double down on my passion, which is to fully launch the coaching program. So now I'm working with women, whether it's burnout, empty nest, just struggling to really figure out where you fit in anymore. I call it burnout to breakthrough, right? So the goal is to get from feeling burnout all the way over to a breakthrough. So anyone from 30 to 50, anyone who's feeling stuck, lost, just kind of woke up saying, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I can't find joy or happiness in my life. I am here to help.
That's wonderful. What led you to this?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I've been telling this story so much lately, but it's such a visual that sticks in my mind. So for most of us, COVID was a big eye opener. And for me, it came on my way home one day. I'd gotten a couple of phone calls, what's for dinner, and I didn't go to the grocery store the day before, purposely because I didn't feel like I had time. So I stop at the grocery store on my way home from work. I get to the house, I load every bag on both of my arms. I mean, literally like just powerhousing it. And I push open the door with my high heel shoe. And my son is standing there just looking, and then he snaps a photo. And for him, that was funny. But I don't think he realized for me that that was the moment that I had a breakdown. I dropped the groceries. I went upstairs and I just sat on the bathroom floor and I cried. And I cried because I felt like a failure. I felt like I was failing at work because I needed to leave in time to get groceries so I could come home and cook dinner. I felt like I was failing as a mom because here I am strolling in the door with the groceries and I've got to prepare everything. I can't, feed dinner. And I just felt super lost. And in that moment, I just basically said, something's got to give, right? And that's when I decided that it was time to bring She Handles It to life. And I really just started by sharing blogs and my experiences and what I found to help me. And then that turned into workshops. But that day is stuck in my mind because I just felt like I can't do another thing.
Yeah, definitely. That visual is excellent. I'm trying to think of how to make it into like a little cartoon that's like funny but not funny, like joking but not joking.
Exactly.
Yeah, this does sound like many people's lives. Certainly my life was at that point at some point as well. And how do you think that people find the courage or the what to reach out and say, hey CJ, let me come to one of your workshops. Let me work with
Yeah.
you.
Unfortunately, I think typically it takes someone feeling just completely burnt out. And a lot of times, what they don't realize is you feel burnt out because we're trying to be everything for everyone. And the reality of it is, the superwoman is a myth. Like doing everything isn't the superpower. The superpower is putting your focus on what matters the most. So I think for me, it's when women finally realize, hey, I am ready to put myself first so I can show up at work as the best version of myself. I am ready to show up at home as the best mother I can be, the best spouse I can be. And that means that you can't be everything for everyone. So one of my taglines is, just because you can doesn't mean you should, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. But I think we wonder how to prioritize that. And is that something you help people with?
I do, yeah. So I have a 12-week program. I call it Reclaim the Reins. And basically, what we do is we start by first clarifying your purpose. What is your purpose? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you going after? Is your job just your job? Or are you doing it because you want a second home or because you want to put your kids through college? Like, what is your purpose? What lights you up? What brings you, joy? And then we create an aligned vision. So we really do things like visioning exercises. What does it feel like to live in the life that I want to live? And then we break it down into realistic, sustainable goals. SMART goals are incredible, right? Because they're not these massive, large, huge goals. They really take a look and say, okay, I want to buy a beach house in 2 years. okay, well, what do I need to do today? Like, what can I do this week? What can I do this month that will help me move towards that? And that's what Reclaim the Reins is. And we do it over a 12-week period because it takes 66 days on average for someone to create a new habit.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure that we have time to create new neural pathways and actually start changing our inner dialogue, how we talk about things with ourselves, how we show up for the people around us, and give those things time to set in, because you can create new habits very simply, but it just means consistency. And sometimes we just need a coach, we need a guide, we need someone holding us accountable, someone that we can just say, I had a really crappy day, and they can turn your mood around. And that crappy day can go to the wayside. And now you show up at dinner time, the best, parent you can be, or the best spouse, whatever that case may be.
Yeah, I love that. I wonder, I used to hear like 21 days or 3 weeks or something like that, and now it's 66 days. So I wonder if we're so used to micro content now. So now it takes us actually longer to build a habit because we are used to consuming stuff in less time.
It also depends too on how consistent you are. So, it's on average 66 days, but some people can create a new habit in 18 days, right? Because for 18 days in a row, they just do it. But others that, their old neural pathways are just too strong, right? Getting up in the morning and sitting down and watching TV instead of, doing a morning yoga routine or going outside to ground yourself. Little changes in your life can make a drastic difference. And I think consistency is part of the reason why it's taking longer and longer for people to get there.
Yeah, makes sense. And we get all this mixed information and stuff is coming from all these, and then trying to find the one right thing, but it's really just the thing that you do. It's not the so-and-so's plan or so-and-so's this or that. And I saw it on Oprah. I saw it on Dr. Phil. It's like, okay, that might not be the thing for you. That may have been
Exactly.
for them.
Yep. And that's what everything I do is based on my experience. I tell people and say, listen, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. These are just things that I have learned over my time, mistakes that I've made. I ran my village off because of the superwoman theory. And that's really where this all kind of comes from. I'm like, I got it. I can do it. I can handle it. Don't fold the towels. You're not going to fold them the way that I want. Don't load the dishwasher. Oh my God. Like, that kind of thing. And so over time, people start to listen and they're like, you got it. So they don't offer to help. They don't step in. And then resentment builds up. Even though I said don't do it, resentment starts to kick back in. So when we realize it's okay and we start giving ourselves that leadway, that permission to let someone else do the dishes, even though they're not going to load it right, or have them fold the towels. Are they clean? Yeah. Okay, sis, that's okay. They're clean. Mission accomplished, right? But we run our village. So, I want to bring the village back because it does take help, especially because both parents in every household, for the most part, do have to work. There are way more stay-at-home moms today than there were 5 years ago. Yes, we are, getting a little bit closer, but for the most part, both people in the house are working. And so that means it has to be shared. Women burn out in the workplace because we're biochemically designed to be homemakers. Men burn out with their honey-do list because they're designed to be out, bringing home the bacon, however you want to put it. And so we've got to find balance in there because we're both filling roles that we weren't initially designed to do. So what that looks like is, hey, I'm not going to be home in time for dinner. Can you help? Or, hey, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Do you mind taking care of the groceries today? We don't ask enough, but when you get used to it and you start having those conversations, you'll be surprised how quickly you can pull that village back in and actually have the support that you need.
Yeah, it makes sense. I find people avoid those conversations, avoid asking, avoid saying, I work with a lot of people on developing their business, and they're like, well, I don't have time to do that. And I was like, well, if you even talk to your spouse about changing the schedule one day a week. And it's like, well, no, I don't even want to bring that up. It's like, so we have a whole different conversation now.
Yes. I get sad when I hear that too, because there are so many people in that position. And some of it is just fear, right? You have an open, honest dialogue, and more often than not, the help will be there. But for those that don't, it takes a lot of time. And you do sometimes have to come to a realization that I am only capable of doing so many things. And I need a partner that is able to help me so that together we're elevating each other.
Yeah, makes sense. So you've been doing workshops and you're going to do some one-on-one. Like, what else is in the works for you?
So I'm writing a book. It's called The Midlife Awakening. And it's really, it's about redefining success, love, and purpose on your own terms, because for each of us, that is different. So one of my big goals is to launch my podcast kind of / streaming show.
Okay.
So I'm going to be airing on This Is It TV network. Hopefully those episodes will start happening in the fall. I'm going to be filming here very shortly. So you'll be able to follow along some stories of women who have made major pivots in their life, who have had major changes, major successes, life tips, hacks, and things that have helped them really be able to elevate themselves. One thing that I feel is missing and what I'm most passionate about is joy in life. Too often we wake up and we're just going through the motions. We crawl back in bed at the end of the day and we haven't experienced any joy, any love, anything other than, okay, yeah, I got my job done, my paycheck's coming. And so if I can help bring joy back into people's lives, that is the main goal. So aside from the one-on-one coaching, which I do offer the 12-week program along with single sessions for people who just need, a positivity boost or something to help get them going. The workshops, they typically happen on a monthly basis and range anywhere from work-life integration to networking to how to be more present in your life. So we really just focus on topics that the community wants to hear. And then speaking events. So I do a lot of speaking where I can do larger style workshops where we kind of go through some storytelling and get some feedback from the audience. It's a lot of fun. So I'm a little bit everywhere right now.
Yeah, launching a business is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you do? What do you do for fun?
I'm an outdoors person. So I spend a lot of time kayaking, hiking. We actually, this weekend, we finally got our chickens. So we spend a lot of time outside. We're trying to turn our home into a small farmstead. So the chickens were the first step. So that's a lot of fun, but I spend a lot of time outdoors. It's how I reset. So not only is it physical activity to keep me healthy, but it also keeps me grounded and sane. So outside is where you'll find me.
Hey, well, how do we find you? I know She Handles It. Is that a website or is
Yep,
it?
absolutely. So my new website is coming soon. Right now you can find the She Handles It blog at shehandlesit.com. And you can always email me at info@shehandlesit.com as well for more information. And the new site should be launching within the next week or so.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for coming on, CJ. This has been a wonderful conversation. And again, I'm Daya Naef. I'm your host. This is the Success Partner Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and stay tuned.
Thank you for joining us on the Success Partner Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found some valuable takeaways to apply to your own business journey. Remember, this show is brought to you by The Success Partner, where we help small law firms and business owners achieve unparalleled success through strategic guidance, operational excellence, and effective marketing. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, visit thesuccesspartner.net to learn more. Until next time, keep striving for success, and I will see you in the next episode.